not. There we go. Now we are live. And let's switch that off. Hopefully. Yes, there we go. Alrighty. We are live back for what I'm calling Monday Night Freeform, which is just basically a reason to chill out and kind of just relax. Do the thing. And on top of that, we are going to be learning about the Emu War, which I don't know much about. So we are going to be discovering a lot about it as we go. Hey, turtles! Welcome to the chat. Hello, and hopefully it is a happy Monday morning for you. Yes, it is Monday morning for you. So, a little bit of changes in the background and everything. Actually, I should update. I'm slowly working on it. The Manabar, the Manabar studio sign. Very rainy. First rain in about a month. Oh, yeah, because you guys are, like, absolutely getting blasted through summer at the moment. Well, we are nice and crispy chilly at the moment here in Australia. It's been a pretty relaxed day. Although, also, I'm going to bring the microphone a little closer because for some reason, it seems like I actually was working on things and realized that the Twitch keeps having my voice clip in and out. I don't know if that's the case on I don't know if that's the case on YouTube, but for some reason, yeah, someone actually mentioned on Twitch that it was fucking with them. So I don't know what's going on. But oh my god, like we've had rain here, but it's winter rain, winter storms. No clipping? Oh, fantastic. Okay, excellent. Very glad to hear that. So we're continuing on with Halo. And oh, SMGs. Oh, that's right. You can only use one. You can only use one SMG though. You can't dual wield in this. Do I trust an SMG? I know that I'll be going up against the Flood later, but I still got to get through all of the Covenant beforehand. Assault rifle. Assault rifle wins. So it's actually been a pretty relaxed sort of weekend. Ah, there you are, boys. Ah, it feels good to kill things efficiently. I've been playing quite a bit of Hell Is Us. And it's surprisingly an interesting, well-designed game. But it has a kind of very simple combat to it. But I'm finding I'm actually enjoying that. Because like when it comes to a lot of the Souls likes, if the combat's challenging, that's fair call. But it's it's when there's that particular level of combat where they almost demand that perfection from you. But it's one of the few where it's been interesting and fun, but the combat's very slow. It has this slow kind of methodical pace to it. Oh, Jesus. Have a grenade, boys. Yeah, there we go. No one back that way. What? I like the touch that, yeah, these guys come tearing out. Although, generally in the past, whenever I'd played it in the Xbox OG version, like they'd barely make it past there, and then the grenades would go off and just absolutely wipe them out. Challenging needs to be engaging. Well, see, there's an element to a game like Hell Is Us where if you like, they're doing one thing incredibly well, which is their level design and storytelling is very, like, it's almost like they've honed in on that aspect incredibly well. Oh wait, I wonder, am I playing this? Oh, I am still playing this on performance. I actually did try this a bit on PC for just kind of seeing how well it goes, and it was stunning on the it was stunning on the PC at like full 144 frames, 4K, do what's it's all that. It was really good, but I was surprised at how good the performance mode or the quality mode held up. Because I did a quick comparison between the PC and the console for the quality, and the quality holds up fucking well. But back to the original point. The They did an incredibly good job. Where are you, boys? There you are. Oh. Oh, you're flanking me. All right, have a grenade. Okay, they got the better of me there. The storytelling and world building, like, depending on what you really like about FromSoft games, the worlds, the kind of layered upon layered design that you get in something like Dark Souls 1 with the Undead Burg leading into where is it? Undead Burg and Analondo and all of these places. The kind of layering that happens in that world where it folds in upon itself. They've done that exceptionally well, but they've done it in these smaller maps. It's almost like they just tried to do it in a small scale to make it viable for not having a studio of like 200, 300 people. And it really works in its favor. But the interesting part is actually that, oh,
Stay back! You're not turning me into one of those things!
Oh, there you go. Are you going to shoot me?
I'll blow your brains out! Get away from me! Ah! Ah! Don't touch me, you freaks! I won't
Okay.
you. I'll die first!
Oh, he had a skull on him. That's just wrong. Fantastic. I can live with that. I cracked him so hard. Actually, wouldn't that be better as a red versus blue reference? Or it's like you beat him to death with his own skull. It's like, that doesn't seem physically possible. That's what he was screaming as he died. This doesn't seem physically possible. The joke was right there. And they didn't go for it. Disappointed. Disappointed, Halo Studios. You should know your early internet's humor. So like this really interesting recursive design is just fantastic through the game. And the story element, the idea of, oh, we're already here. I remember it always taking a whole lot longer, but you know what? I'm not going to look a gift float in the mouth. All right. Ooh, the boot prints. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Ooh, Chief actually opens the door this time. I thought it was Jenkins. this is really well done. Yeah, that would be Jenkins's helmet. Okay, yep. Ooh, SD card slot. That cost him about $3 of the $7 billion it cost to make his armor.
Why do we always have to listen to this old stuff, Sarge?
Watch your mouth, son. This stuff is your history. It should remind you, grunts, what we're fighting to protect.
Hey, if the Covenant want to wipe out this particular part of my history, that's fine by me. Yeah, better it than us.
You ask real nice next time you see him, but
I just see you reached the best mission in the game. Yes, I did. Hello, Super Lord. Super Lordo. This... like... the part to this is that they're keeping the tone right. And that's such a hard thing to do with this. Is that everybody got shit scared the first time, but this is definitely touching on the right elements about it.
Take a look, Jenkins. Mendoza, move it up.
Because you think about it, this is the first really decent length in-game cinematic that you get in Halo.
wait
Like,
here for the captain and his squad. Then get your ass inside.
like you think about all of the other sequences, they're usually within a minute or two. Like I think the longest sequence prior to this is... it'd be the opening sequence, wouldn't it? Like the Pillar of Autumn, the opening of the game.
Sir! Right, let's get this door open. I'll try, sir. But it looks like these Covenant worked pretty hard to lock it down.
Just do it, Moraine.
Yes, sir.
And what we're gonna do... I think I might prefer these cutscenes over the blur CGI, to be fair. The blurs are too shiny. Yeah, it does have that.
You better have a look at this, Sarge.
What you got?
Covenant. Lots of them. Except they're all dead.
Show me.
Which is weird, right? I mean, look at it. Something scrambled the insides.
What's that? Plasma scoring.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was an accident, you know, friendly fire or something?
What do we have, Sergeant? Looks like a Covenant patrol. Badass elite units. All KIA. Real
Really
pretty.
low.
Friend of yours?
Nah, we just met. I got a bad feeling about this.
Boy, you always
Alright.
got a bad feeling
Boosted
about
it
something.
by 1.5 times.
What the?
Captain, Sarge, can you hear me?
What's going on, soldier?
We've got contact. Lots of them. But they're not coming. They're just tearing through us. What the? Oh, no!
Corporal, do you copy? Over.
Oh yes, we do have Cody here.
Mendoza, get your ass back up to second squad's position and find out what the hell is going on.
But
I don't have time for your lip, soldier. I gave you an order.
But Sarge, listen.
What is that? Where's that coming from, Mendoza?
Everywhere. I don't... Above you! There! Get out!
Let him have it!
Get out! Get it out!
Hold still! Hold still! God damn it, Jenkins! Fire your weapon! Sergeant, we're surrounded.
Sweet mother. There are too many, Sarge!
Don't even think about it, Marine!
Oh, this is local!
Get back here, Marine! That's an order! Jenkins! Behind you!
Oh my god, I love that. That is a great touch. And now that familiar music. it is just one of those incredible reveals. It, like, okay, which doorway we're going for this time? Oh, front doorway. There we are, boys. I actually wondered how I'd do with considering the assault rifle in this has a lot less ammo per clip. It used to be easy to manage these guys when you had 60 rounds. They still have that good little pop to them as well. Oh, I love this. Great touches. Also the fact that they've gone for the very face huggery vibe, like actually having them kind of put the old feelers out. All right. I remember a friend of mine freaking out when he played this for the first time. It's like he was just piffing grenades everywhere. Like, no, can't let him get near me. It's like, Jesus, dude. Like, you can just shoot him. Like, a bullet is enough to take him out. But he was like, nope, absolutely not. But he was also a friend of mine that I remember saying that his parents had let him watch Alien at a very age inappropriate age. Like, I think he said that he was 8 or 9, and his parents were like, "Oh, you've got to see this movie. It's amazing." Because I don't know. They must have just decided that, you know what, let's traumatize our son, and that they did. Like, he had a serious thing about the face huggers, because there was the H.R. Geiger museum had actually handed out a few of their pieces. I listened to Halo the Flood in preparation to Halo campaign evolved. It definitely showed how terrified Chief was of the Flood. I think the movement of Chief showed how tense he was in the cutscene. That is a brilliant point, Sue. Like, the Eric Nyland's writing for the Flood book, like the actual elements of the Halo Combat Evolved storyline and everything, really did it justice, because it gave a sense, especially when Chief was fighting against the Flood, at how quickly he was finding himself overwhelmed, and it just gave this sense of, I don't know what I'm facing, and his kind of unease at that, because he would generally, for a lot of encounters, he would have that kick in of having other Spartans with him, having other trained soldiers, and this was encountering not only the Flood alone, but you consider he doesn't have Cortana with him, so he doesn't have any live information about what she's finding out about them. What sort of communications do they have? What form of not just communication, but call-outs, translation, everything else like that. So it's kind of nice to have that touch. Like, it's also one of those elements. I don't know, the Super Lord Turtles in the chat, like, in a sense, as much as like Halo has Master Chief speak, I think one of the aspects is you can generally tell his level of unease and how he reacts to any situation in how he kind of moves through. Like, he can have that confidence of just okay, I just need to push through. I need to get this done. I need to, I don't get a say in the matter. But it's almost like one of the aspects of him is that he has a bit of a, like, I wonder if anybody gets this reference. He has a bit of the Sam Fishers about him, in that, like Sam Fisher as a character through the Splinter Cell series, was never a super soldier. He's just somebody who was a trained Navy SEAL and everything else. But he operated in this basis of, he knew that his, like, one day his luck would run out. And Chief almost seems as if he operates in that similar vein, that he keeps pushing, he tries the impossible, his job is to get the mission done. But it's that he's almost just, he punts, he just pushes forward. Chief got combat training and suppresses fear by thinking, yeah, actually that's a good point. I completely forgot about that in The Fall of Reach, like the training and everything else. That, hold on, I cannot remember his name. Their leader. I'm trying to remember the name of the. Oh, shotgun time. Yes. Everybody loves a shotgun. Hold on. We've got full ammo for that. And we best have full ammo for this. Ooh, and we've got a terminal. But yeah, I remember it was the drill sergeant who trains them on Reach, like specifically pushing them to a limit where they had to always operate. They had to think, had to try and just push past whatever they were thinking or dealing with to just like get the job done. It does make me wonder in a sense. Oh wait, did these boys reset if they get a flood infection form in their chest? Oh, I did not know that. Interesting. So it really has brought some of, like, that's such a good touch, because that was what was terrifying about Halo 3 with the flood. This is the Halo 3 flood AI. Oh, I didn't know. That is brilliant, because that the Halo 3 flood were that level of, I think they were that level of scary. The Covenant AI is Halo Reach AI. Ooh. Okay. They're definitely, in a sense, I feel that there's that aggression, but I also feel it's a little more manageable than Halo Reach was. Like, I remember Halo Reach being near impossible, from my recollection, when it came to like the elites. But in this it's almost, I wouldn't say doable, because there's like Turtles can attest, in the previous run-throughs there were some points where the elites had my fucking number. Like, they clocked me so many friggin' times, and I am by no means any master player, but it would definitely make sense. The Halo 3 flood were very dynamic in that wave. It was almost like a push-pull dynamic when you fought. Oh, nice touch. Oh, you didn't know Turtles? Oh, okay. I've played this game 3 or 4 times since the 28th. I have tons of opinions. It's like, put your opinions out there, man. Like, I like hearing what people think. Like, the chat here is very much freeform. There is no right or wrong. I like to hear what people are thinking about the games that are out there, because it's like, I think that there's definitely ways and approaches. Like, you look at some games, they do this well, or they don't do that well. But I think there's always that touch where you can, everybody kind of goes, oh, yeah, I loved this, or I didn't really like that aspect of it. but I love hearing it, man. It's like if gonna grab my coffee and get to writing. Let's please do. Like, in a sense of it. Like, oh, actually, on that, Turtles, did you? I didn't get to ask how your weekend was, but have you managed to get any time to play stuff? I know things are busy for you, but I'd be interested if you have managed to get to play this or anything else. Like, what if when you have any time, are you playing? Because I will admit, like, this and Hell Is Us has been taking up a large chunk of my time. Oh, Jesus. Okay, that was not busy with family this weekend. Ah, that's all right. That's all good. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh, now they're starting with the vehicles. Actually, I remember jumping into backlog. Got about 3 Yakuza games to play next. Oh, which ones? Because like if you're up to the if you're up to Like a Dragon, I will say that Like a Dragon, I think, is still one of the best first franchise games that I've ever played. Like I had never played a Yakuza game prior to it. Ooh. Sorry, I just had to melee that chunk of disembodied flesh. I'd never played any of the Yakuza games before, but Like a Dragon. Okay, you've got Lost Judgment, Pirate Yakuza, and the Yakuza 3 remake left to play. Ooh, okay. Lost Judgment, I think is a fantastic one. Probably top 3 game series. Okay. Then yeah, you're definitely in the best life at the moment, because like I will say I'm disappointed that the Judgment series probably will not continue as far as Studio Rio Gotuka, I think it is. Pronunciation, bad English words. I remember hearing that they weren't really able to continue with the series because the rights for the lead actor had a certain time limit on them, and that they had attempted to negotiate with his agents, but that no decision was capable of being sought through, so they were unable to kind of go with it, which is a pity because they're not the favorite ones, not a fan of the characters. Okay, see, I just like I will admit I love a good legal drama, and I love a good investigation. This boy has attempted to jump up here like 3 times. No more times. Nope. Okay. Let's try the good old bounce. Nope, it's not working. Just have to get down here and shoot. Like I love good investigations, good kind of stories like that play out. And the I do wish they'd changed some of the enemy AI in this remake. It would have been nice to see a bit more variety in the enemies instead of just run at you and flail. I feel like that's a majority of the enemies. I will say it is. I think it's almost that kind of balance of the like I will give it there is a bit of there is a bit of revisionist history with some elements about how the enemy AI was for the original Halo. the Flood were very specifically like that. Like the Flood's entire purpose was just basically to run at you and face tank everything, which was such a very different thing compared to how all of the other enemies in the game had treated you at that point. Like, you think about the elites and like, if you took out an elite, the grunts would run away, and the jackals would always like do the kind of scoop and roll to the side. It was always kind of the dance when fighting them. And then the Flood was such a, well, much like the name. What would you like me to cover first, the AI or the architecture? I'd be interested in your take on the AI, Sue, because I'm very forgiving of the AI, because I remember what it was like, and I like before streaming, I actually did go back and play the original Halo on the OG Xbox on the shelves behind me back there, and it, just to give it that sense of kind of weight and balance to it, because it had been so long. I think I looked it up on stream. The last time I'd played Halo in the Master Chief Collection was 2014, 2015, I think. But I feel this does feel like Halo to me, but less of the Halo that I remember and more like somebody interpreting the Halo that I remember through a more modern lens. And I think that's where a lot of the, I don't know, I would guess that was the intention, but yeah, let me know what you think, because on the architecture as well, I think it's interesting to keep the same shapes in the form of levels so that there's a familiarity. But I have to admit, kind of taking it into its own touch is a nice, I see it as a nice variation without it being too overtly, because I think I covered this. Okay, oh, fantastic. You, as promised, you got a coffee and you delivered. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that these guys can't attack me. So I'm going to do right by the chat. So this has come through on Twitch chat from Superlord. So covering the AI and architecture. So we're starting with the AI. I think the Reach AI is an all right AI. It gets some aspects right. If they were to incorporate the aggressive elites with the shield popping, would be nice. That's very true. Like having that from the original Halo, like when the shields pop and they'd go rah, and then just really rush you. That was always such a good dichotomy of the risk of going for an elite popping the shields, because if they went aggressive and rushed you, it could also be when a whole lot of grunts came out, or jackals would basically fire at you, and then your shield's getting pinged down while you've got a dude who's basically face tanking as he runs straight to you. When the shield pops, the AI runs a calculation on how close you are. If there's no cover, it will rush you. If you're too far, or opt for cover. Also, redefine the elite AI to have that dance into a slightly more aggressive dance, like it goes faster. Yeah, I I can absolutely agree with that. It's it is one of those things that is missing. I wonder if it's the aspect of I would be interested. Well, actually, seeing as you've played through it quite a few times, Superlord, um, I'm guessing you've played through it on Legendary. Is the AI more aggressive in Legendary, or is it more the case of hit points go up, shield points go up, to kind of elongate the battles, or is it still or is it like it was? The flood AI, I think, is a great placeholder. I wish they rushed you from the get-go. They just slightly creep towards you until they are close. Yeah, I can definitely see that with considering that they're all just hanging out over there. And yeah, it's almost a bit like they've maybe got a bit more of that elite in them. That once you hit that kind of midpoint, that's where they get aggressive. Which I can understand, but yeah, it feels a bit. I think you're definitely right with that. It does feel a little disjointed. That it could be more. It could have a bigger kind of a more crunchy like almost a Doom sense, like push forward combat. You like as soon as you see them, like these little guys, like you'd think that because I remember whenever the little flood dudes would come, like the little infection forms would come at you, they'd almost pirouette away for a bit to just avoid they'd pirouette away just to avoid the gunfire and just hide behind something, and then they'd almost come back through and swarm you again. Ooh. Oh, and my first death. Oh wait, hold on. Let's see. Have I got it here? Let's go to here. Where is it? The death counter. I actually have it up and running. 1, 2. I love it. Okay. Keep in mind this is also before the grave mine, so there should be feral and not coordinated. The Halo Combat Evolved AI had it good where they just rushed you down because they wanted more biomass at any cost to expand. Oh, that's right. Because yeah, when they're disconnected from the grave mine, it's just they work on the basis of we just need more organic matter to expand. Like we need to become. I cannot remember if it's a case of that all flood, all parasitic elements of it, that they all have the potential for a grave mind, or that a grave mind can be grown / built. I cannot remember if that was the law. Like, correct me on that, anybody, if you know. The way they could circumvent that is have the AI calculations make certain flood chasing you down and some more accurate flood shooting you while creeping forward. Yeah, like it'd almost be an interesting thing to have kind of come up in, because I don't know. We haven't heard whether they're going to attempt doing these sort of remake elements for the other titles, have we? It's certainly like, hey, I'm not going to say no to any more Halo. Like yeah, in general, I don't mind a remake as long as it's always about like. See, it's an aspect of my age, I suppose.
This is Echo 419.
Is
Chief,
that
is that you?
ooh,
I
hold
lost
on.
your signal when you disappeared inside the structure. What's going on down
Hold
there?
on.
I'm tracking movement all over the place.
I lost a bit of audio there. That was not good.
Sir, thank
oh,
God you're here. We've been lost out here for hours. After we lost contact with the rest of the mission, we headed for the RV point, and then these things, they ambushed us. We got to get out of here.
There's a large tower a few
that's
hundred
right.
meters from your current position. Find a way above the fog and foliage canopy, and I can move in and pick you up.
Oh, this is really well done. I have to admit, for anybody new, on Legendary, everything shoots faster. They're more accurate and a little bulkier. Ooh, okay. It's nothing insane. Okay. See, I can probably work with that. That would be a great little aspect to try. Like, oh no. Like, for the people playing this for the first time, they've never dealt with him. They just hear that humming and like, who's that guy? And everybody's like, oh fuck. He is 3 games of annoyance. I do like that they kept one of the behaviors about the flood forms that I like is the kind of the big leaps in, because the game is fairly balanced on legendary. Okay. Because yeah, I'm still yet to do the classic lasso on anything, because I'm an old man and and I'm not that great at video games. But it's always been one of those things I'd love to attempt. But it's that aspect of trying to push forward to it, because it's almost in a sense like talking about Dark Souls games. Like there has to be a level of where you feel like you can win. And I know that there's some battles in Halo Legendary where it's just, oh, it is a hollowing experience. Like, I fought the Fume Knight. I did not beat him, but I fought the Fume Knight. And that shit, you know, just, like, that's the boss where I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, I've completed, completed Dark Souls 2 as much as I will. Which is a pity, because Dark Souls 2 was actually the first in the series that I played. And I think it's a pretty damn good game. I know, controversial take. But it is, like, I will say, maybe, like, I would hope that if they're going to do another one in the series, that, you know, we're going to see Halo Campaign Evolved 2, or some other variation or element with that. It would be nice to see the it would be nice to see the aggressive sense of the AI. Like, I suppose even if it is something that's kind of behind the skulls and everything, I think that's okay. Where are you guys? You wanted me to go all the way over here to help them? Nope, you know what? Oh no, they actually did come back here.
Under fire! You want some too?
Oh, and also, like, if that's your feelings on the AI, then architecture-wise, I'd be interested to hear that, because yeah, as I said before, like, I think the architecture's quite well done as a difference to it has the style, it has the feeling, but it's almost like I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. But it's in a sense the same I feel in the way that you can improve something with fidelity while still keeping that same feeling. What was the example I used last week? Okay, like, Dependent, I'm a big sci-fi nut. One of my favorite movies, Blade Runner. Obviously based on Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, okay, but it's the one thing I liked about, while many people felt that Blade Runner 2049 was not a good sequel or anything else, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I liked it because it felt like the world, in a sense, still had such a raw element to it. It was damn it. And the death counter goes up. Had to make sure it kept the death counter. But one of the aspects about Blade Runner 2049 was not that they tried to emulate the style exactly, but it also wasn't such a big departure. It was the feeling of that the art style wove a beautiful line between what we had seen before. Oh, and we've got a first-time chatter in the Twitch chat, AI viewers, streamboo.com. So we have another bot. Thank you very much, Mr. Bot. Thank you for adding to the viewers, which just like you're selling AI viewers by being a viewer in a stream that needs viewers. No. So I'm guessing you're just AI in and of itself. I'm an AI streamer. Streamer movie. Sorry, I'll stop being an idiot with the AI bot watchers. Or sorry, the bot spammers. Okay. Also from Superlordo. Oh, excellent. On the architecture. Alright, so let's get me some breathing space here for these boys. Checkpoint done. Okay, fantastic.
I'm not gonna die like that.
Seriously?
I almost feel sorry for him.
Okay. Alright. Okay. So, for the architecture. The architecture has a good base. The thing they missed the point is with adding variation to the palettes. In the original, you'd have bronze, gold, silver, rock, or plastic panels to add variety. Yes, true. The Covenant ship interior is purple. They could have outlined it with a metal alloy and added some outlines in the walls to have some rubbery plastic floors in the original. In the Forerunner interiors, it's metal. In the original, it was rock plastic combined with metal. They should have made Forerunner interiors a lot more worn to mirror the 100,000 year absence of life. That is true. Although I did see that point brought up by someone in a Discord that I'm a part of. And
Come on.
one of the aspects. Oh. Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. This is a little bit different. Oh.
I am the monitor of Installation 04. I am 343 Guilty Spar. Someone has released the flood. My function is to prevent it from leaving this installation, but I require your assistance. Come, this way.
Chief, I've lost your signal. Where'd you go? Chief! Chief!
Have to make sure. The pup cam. Gotta keep the pup cam. The stuff is your. That's right. Okay. Sorry, just
If
double
the flood
checking
escapes
on
this halo, it will of course consume all viable hosts in this galaxy. Why, naturally, the flood is simply too dangerous to release, and mass sterilization protocols may again need to be enacted. Of course, samples were kept here after the last catastrophic outbreak, for study. It seems that decision may have been an error. I would conjecture that the other species currently on the installation are responsible for releasing the flood. They seem most persistent in their attempts to access restricted areas. We must collect the index before we can activate the installation. We are near the index chamber. Follow me.
Ooh, okay. I might have some July fruit times. Okay. Seems like I'm on top of everything. If anybody here knows Jez Corden of Windows Central, he just got back to me on something in terms of like information and everything about a particular rumor and stuff. He's got an article um, going live in a bit, so I'm not breaking his news, but he'll uh, hopefully he'll post it when it goes live, and I will be reading that because the man is really good. Um, oh, okay. Is that a different voice actor? Okay, so OMG Turtles, as far as I can see here, Tim Dadabo is returning as the Forerunner Monitor 343 Guilty Spark. Um, um, Apparently Avery Johnson is newly recast. Jacob Keyes is newly recast. Um, um, no, it doesn't seem that anything else changed from Steve Harvey Johnson. Oh, no, Atari hasn't bought Xbox. It was just interesting. Uh, it it just be something about the current rumors that are going around based on timelines for apparently. I was asking Jez about the reporting rumors going around today on the specific.
For so I have
Uh,
seen in the sacred caves.
for hope, so he has seen. Okay, sorry. I'll finish my thought and uh, even though I critique this game heavily, it's from a place of love for the series. I appreciate what they tried with this game and they did massive improvements to the gunplay. The issue is they need to broaden their perspectives. Look at how they handled 343 Guilty Spark. Show they're capable of extraordinary things. I think they need a broader vision. Yes, actually, I kind of agree with that in that the more broader changes need to happen because it it always has to be about if you're not if you want to remake something, that's all and good. Like I liked the remakes that were done for some games, but there's also those points where you can improve. Like okay, I will say this with all love and care and respect, because it tends to get me a lot of sideways looks. I'm not a fan of the Last of Us games, but I can understand why they've remade that game first for the PlayStation 3, then for the PlayStation 4, and then for the PlayStation 5. And then they did a special limited edition kind of other element rework thing for the PlayStation 5 special edition when the TV show came out. That's a game that you want to remake in the same sense of just improving the graphics, but still keeping the story flow through because that is kind of key. It's not that you need to improve the gameplay. The gameplay is it is not the driver. The story is the driver. Having the gameplay service the story works incredibly well. But for a game like this, a game like Halo, the gameplay is what keeps you engaged in that 30 seconds, that gameplay back, forth, grenades, everything else. Like guns, grenade, melee, I believe is Jamie Griesmer said, the 30 seconds of fun. That's what keeps you in there. That's what keeps you locked. And that broadening has to happen where I think you're right. They did tighten it, but I definitely understand your thoughts about how it could be broadened and made um a a, a little bit more if they if they applied that level of focus to how everything else is. Although on um the Forerunner interiors worn to mirror 100,000 years absence of life. Um, there was an interesting point from yeah, a Halo fan in a
The
Discord
index
that I'm
is
part
actually
of.
our first
The
priority.
Xbox 2
We
Discord, go
cannot
there,
activate the
join up at
installation failsafes without the index.
Xbox 2
We
Patreon.
must make
I
our
don't
way
have a
to the
link
transit
for it.
lift on the other side of this level.
I shouldn't really be plugging somebody else's Discord, but and their Patreon, but I'm fan of the Xbox 2. If like I don't monetize or do anything here, but if you want to support something really cool, the Xbox 2 Discord and their Patreon, really good people there. Terrible mods. They let me be a mod there with terrible ideas. So may not be the best decisions, but I just slagging on myself. But a friend of mine who's a serious Halo guy was actually, because somebody brought up why is it that everything in the library here is shiny and new and not worn down? And he had specifically pointed out and just said, well, the I don't remember what they're called, the Sentinels are specifically there not only to keep the flood in check, but they're also there as the maintenance systems that keep the Halo ring operational during those periods of time where it isn't.
You can see how the body has been transformed by the genetic restructuring of a flood infection. The small creatures carry spores that cause a host to mutate. The mutated host then produces spores that can pass the flood to others. It is insidious and elegant. As long as any hosts remain, the flood is virulent.
Oh, I love that. Doing the little bit more, you're definitely right on broadening, especially how he's talking about the flood, because it's nice to add those. Well, it's also the element of any remake is that you have the ability in time now to really dial in and give more context. The little bits of elements where it's almost like, oh, you boys, I remember you. We don't get close to you. It's almost in a sense the same way that the Star Wars universe really expanded out well after the first 3 movies. But before we got things like Phantom Menace and everything else, there was the incredible expanded universe. Or the expanded, I think it was the expanded universe. What's now known as like Legacy universe. For Star Wars content. But there's the additional information and general broadening of understanding that happens in any sort of franchise. And with that, if you then go back and you're making a new title, you're able to use those further broadened hooks to be able to create a really interesting additional point of information that gives people reference. And it makes it so much easier for new people to come in and feel like they're learning all of this for the first time, but we're relearning and rediscovering, and that's a really hard needle to thread. From Soup. Sure, the Sentinels are the janitors in the ring. The problem is that the older interiors did portray the long abandoned feeling. The new ones make it feel like it's lived in. Okay, yeah, okay, I see your point there. Because yeah, I will admit it is shiny. This could just be me. Like I am a nerd and I am a sheet metal worker. There's an element to one of the aspects of it could also be just like lighting in a sense. But there's an element about the, like, as you get closer and kind of look into it, this is how much of a fucking nerd I am in terms of my own work. So the materials, if you were to say that the closest facsimile to them were to be a stainless steel, something with stainless steel or aluminium, that they have a gloss, a brightness to them. The element that comes off about it is that at these distances, when you look at it, it has that kind of glossy, like well lit up, sharp angled feeling. But as you get closer and then look at it, I don't know. I don't know if the stream is going to have as good a point of view, but you can see it's what we call so you get oxides on aluminium. Okay, so here's the nerd sheet metal worker. So aluminium, the bauxite that's used to create an aluminium alloy. The reason why aluminium is generally very resistant is because aluminium as a material builds aluminium oxide. It's where oxygen comes in and attaches to the aluminium, and it creates a layer of aluminium oxide that actually protects the aluminium from the general atmospheres and everything around it. And for stainless steel, because it has a high nickel content and chromium, that helps then protect the material from having oxygen then impart itself upon the iron that's in the stainless, and then stopping it from obviously oxidizing or rusting. So what you get when you have environmental buildup on your materials is that you get this, it looks almost like somebody dusted it or just put like a wet sponge on it. And you get these kind of mattings and pittings to the surface, so that it can look shiny when put under a light. But as soon as you have light kind of restricted from it, it doesn't reflect. It diffuses light, and I think definitely for what you're saying, I can see that sort of effects that they've done there. But I think you're right. Like maybe if they encompassed it more so that there wasn't as much reflective or refractive value, that it had maybe a bit more of that feeling, that just a bit more dust. Too much metal. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see that. It's also the question of the thing that immediately comes to my mind, again, nerd, would be how were they refining this? How are they refining the metals that they're using to replace or keep these things in good condition? Because I do not see, or I have not come across a mine or a smelting facility on the Halo ring. Maybe Halo Infinite 2, if they give us full access to one of the rings, we would find that they've got a full like smelting facility and everything else. You know, just to keep the sheet metal nerds happy. Like, okay, so are we going for 316 grade stainless, or are we going 304? You know, where are they getting their chromium from? How much nickel have they got in this? The metal walls make sense. Like, add some bronze pillars, rock or plastic floor. Okay, yeah. Like, in a sense, yeah. When you consider metal floors, it seems like a. Ooh. Punch it? Oh, Jesus. I didn't realize that those little boys were in there. Okay. Yeah, especially because metal floors in any sort of facility are such a big outlay of cost and time. Now, obviously, these facilities been made 100,000 years prior. Definitely, you know, they weren't really concerned with the cost. They were trying to save the galaxy. So, you know what? I'll give them that. You know, I cannot remember cost is not an issue. I could definitely see that they had more consideration, that they were trying to save the universe than worry about like okay, we could save a couple of bucks if we went to melamine floor, or just went with some ply. Like, I can definitely see that the Forerunner didn't exactly want to skimp in that manner, which is good for them, I suppose. Okay, now that at least would have been a very interesting version of Halo campaign involved, where it was like the Forerunner tried to cheap out. The reason the Flood got out wasn't because of Captain Keyes being like, oh, this is a this is a weapons lockup or anything. It was like, no, it's like they replaced, like somebody broke a glass panel and they just replaced it with a piece of ply, and that was it. You know, hide like a ooh, oh, we're getting into some interesting lore here. Okay. If you look at the lesser arc we visit in Halo 3, the arc is building a Halo in the middle and harvesting materials from the planet in the center. Oh my god, I forgot about that. That is a brilliant, that's a brilliant pickup. I'd completely forgotten about that. Yeah, that is one of those interesting touches about the arc, in a sense, in that everybody considers and goes, oh, but what does it take to make Halo? And it's like, they just, like, it goes to where it needs to. They find a planet with the resources and just basically strip mine it to make one of the Halos, because it was about creating a system that could consistently and without fail rebuild any of the Halo rings if they were destroyed, because they were more concerned in going, if one of these gets taken out and the Flood survive when we have to launch them, or when we have to set them off, then it would completely negate the entire idea of like having any sort of failsafe against the Flood if they were to escape, which was such a nice touch, because you rarely have people think about in a lot of like, you'd consider sci-fi, but also to a degree, I'd say
Our numbers continue to grow, Reclaimer. No containment failure expected in 15 seconds. Pardon me. A plasma conduit reach insertion
hello. I remember you boys.
to a preventive maintenance assembly. Repairs require my attention.
In a lot of like, you consider a lot of franchises, they don't. There is never the there's never the consideration of, with the big with any big sort of world-saving event, or any sort of any of the sort of breakthroughs that happen with sci-fi stories. If something goes wrong, there's never really the consideration of what happens if something fails massively. Like, what is the contingency plan past that? It's interesting that, yeah, the guys at the story team in Bungie actually considered what or how the Forerunners considered for if things were to go wrong. Just on this simple basis of, if things were to go wrong, what happens if a Halo ring gets destroyed? Like, it's just floating through space and something even bigger or badder, or say, like, yes, they could work out where suns, when suns would go supernova or anything, super interesting like that. But what if we got it wrong? And they actively considered and went, well, let's make it so that if something goes wrong, our entire system is about resetting and then making sure that we don't get caught out. I would agree, using only metal in the non-living sectors of the ring. If there are sections like the library, the firing valley by the control room and research facilities should be accounted to have appropriate flooring. Yes. Like, I'm still just bemused by the idea of, like, plywood floor, because I just had that argument with a in my day job. We actually had issues with concrete slab flooring where we had to have guys come in and basically, if you're familiar with what a tilt slab is, so a giant slab of concrete making up the wall of a building, they had to basically use polyurethane foam to lift it up about 6 millimeters from where it has been for the last 20 years so that they could fill that space with foam and stop water from leaking in. And as you do as a sheet metal worker or a fabricator in general in Australia, you always talk about the dodgy jobs that you've seen done. It's a tradition that happens with all fabricators. You talk about the dodgy work you've seen and the dodgy things you've come across. And one of the guys did talk about working out on the site, and they did the lift on the slab. Now, normally underneath these big slabs, they'd have some concrete pillars or posts to help support and stop this wall from sinking in. But what had occurred, I know somewhat of what you're talking about since I was studying to become a welder. Didn't continue though. Oh, why not? Well, no, that could be very personal if you feel like saying what you ended up doing instead. Feel free if you don't wish to talk about it, by all means. But I'm always interested. Like I'm the first person to say, leave it at mental health. Okay. Well, no problem. I hope that in whatever endeavor you continued on in, that it helped you manage and work well with your mental health. Like, I think I said it in the previous stream that I did here. Health is wealth. Like, it doesn't matter if it's in your mind, in your body, in even just your spirit, and how you feel in any one moment. You've got to look out for yourself. The most important person is you. But even to any degree, like for welding, it's one of those aspects of it is one of the strangest, weirdest things that I didn't think I would ever do. But much in this world, you can never be sure of what you're going to do. Sometimes things just come along and you find your place. Welding is a modern blacksmith. I can tell you right now that I think my partner would be quite chuffed with that description. The being a welder is modern blacksmith. I think she'd be chuffed with that because I taught her to weld, and she is a phenomenal welder. We also do laser welding, which is very, very unique, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people, if you look at laser welding on YouTube, you'll see fancy people doing like these beautiful stainless welds underwater and going, oh my god, look at this, it's quick, it's amazing. And you'll see an entire like 200 or 300 comment thread of people saying that's not real welding, it wouldn't hold up to a welding test. It does. At some point, when I work out how I could do it, I will stream some laser welding. That would actually be fantastic. Because, you know, it's like, how, like, oh wow, sorry, I hadn't kind of noticed. There's quite a lot of people watching on YouTube and quite a couple on Twitch. Welcome, anybody and everybody. One of those elements of sometimes you kind of go, oh, I would have loved to have learned that, or I never got an opportunity to. There's quite a few people that I've worked with that, oh, what the fuck? This, that is a hunter, is it not? Oh, Jesus. Oh, Soup, you didn't tell me that, that there was like one of the big boys coming up in here. I like this. Okay. We are prepared.
That evaluation subject should not be
We got to do the 7-day trial of welding before I stopped. Managed to grow the skill in MIG and TIG in 7 days when others couldn't in months. That is the... Congratulations. Like, trust me. TIG is one of the... Still to this day, it's one of those skill elements that is incredibly tough, and it is, I will say, the best... actually, like, the best TIG welder I know was a young woman who I taught while she was an apprentice, and she is still... TIG is very much intense. That's why I always say, anybody who tries, even just giving it a shot, it's one of those things that you find out very quickly if you can or can't, but also, even giving it a shot, a lot of people like... Okay. Here's a little demonstration for everybody. So TIG welding, if you think about it. I cannot believe I'm actually doing a stream on the internet. So you basically, you have your wire in your hand, and at the same time you've got a TIG torch. So I think you need to have a specific mindset to grind to properly getting it right. Yeah, surface prep is everything. Talking Halo, and the derailed conversation of the topic tonight was going to be starting with the Emu War and seeing where we went from there, and we're on TIG technique. So in a continuing element, train of thought derails, smashes the small village halfway down the mountain. So I don't know if everybody can see it, but say the point of the pen here, this is the TIG torch. Your TIG torch is generally running at well, it's best to say it can reach up to about 800 degrees, you know, depending on what you're doing. But wherever you're going, you're having to move this. Like, you're working through. So you're having to heat the metal. While you're heating the metal, you have to manually put in your wire at the same time. But you have basically, imagine the pin, the head of a pin, like that very small point. That's where, if I'm a sheet metal worker, so I use very thin stuff. So that's where you are aiming, and you're generating heat to be able to then touch this metal in, and you are just putting it in there. So, Soup, if considering that you managed to grow the skill in that period of time, that is insane. Like, do not ever think down upon yourself for not continuing on with it. There is always the potential for the future. You never know what could be around the corner. And also, if somebody is to ask and go, hey, who has an idea about TIG welding, or who knows something about it, you've always got that knowledge in your back pocket. But you are right, surface prep and everything else. Half the apprentices I taught did not understand that it was, one of the key things was you spent more time doing your surface preparation because it was key. Like, God help me, how much welding would be involved in a massive door like that? Oh, wait. These boys want to interrupt the conversation. So, yeah, well, in an interesting sense, the MIG and TIG welding, especially, like, the best person I have, or the person who grew their skill from the simple things that I taught them into an amazing skill set, was a young woman named Tanya, and she, I think I'd be fine in saying this, in the time that I taught her, she was a second-year sheet metal apprentice, and in that time, also being, well, she would have been 22. She was 24 by the time that she finished. In terms of skill set, I basically worked with her for about
As
6
per
months.
protocol, the illuminated markers will direct your progress. Follow
Ooh.
diligently.
Okay, they've changed this up a little bit. Oh, it looks like. Come on, Coda, up. We're getting the visit from Coda. Oh, and we've got Bubby Kai. Oh, Bubby Kai in the chat. Welcome, sir. And we've also got oh, howling for a wolf. Howling for a wolf. And we had my woo, the Coda boy. Okay. I think a lot of the Halo. Do you think this remake is better than the original CE? I personally think it is. And do you think that the boomers are overreacting negatively to this remake?
The bridge segments to avoid contact with the flood.
Yes. I think that this remake is better than the original CE in terms of its approach and its understanding of being able to take something that has a particular audience and modernizing it to be able to bring it to a new audience. Absolutely. I do think that some boomers are overreacting negatively to the remake, but I honestly see that as that. I don't see it as how is a very it can be very reductive to just have the negativity be specific and go, oh, how dare they change this? This was so much better. That was so much better. It's about interpretation. And I think that we can respect that if you were to describe.
Activate the bridge segments to avoid contact with the flood.
Yes, I know.
Excellent.
I'm sorry. We're talking to chat. Jesus. 343 Guilty Spark. Just give me shit. I think I understand why the boomers. I would say a friend. I'll refer to him as Blue. I don't think he's here watching me. So I'm sure he'd be fine with me saying that he is one of the biggest Halo fans that I know. And he absolutely loves the games, and he knows them all down to a fine art. He's, oh Jesus, that shotgun at close range. Hold on. Well, seeing as I just managed to get myself absolutely fucking mullered by that shotgun, I will stop and answer. I think Halo boomers are overreacting negatively, but that is just more in interpretation. I think that they are passionate about something that means a lot to them. Like this game means a lot to me. I played it when it came out. I played through it with my little sister. It means a lot to me. But I also love and care and respect the fact that they spent so much time in giving it a feel that is more modern without it reducing or pulling away everything from it. Like going, no, we can't have anything of the old. It has to all be new. And then from Howling Wolf for Woo. Sorry, I got your name wrong the first time. That is my Howling Wolf Woo. His name is Coda. And he heard his name. Sorry, I need to update that death counter. I haven't been keeping myself honest. If I'm not keeping myself honest on the death counters, call me out on it. I think a lot of the Halo boomers need time to process their emotions regarding this remake. Trust me, when Halo 7 comes out and flops, the Halo boomers will do a 180 and say the remakes are better. See, I respect your point there. I think for Halo 7, wherever they're going to go, no matter here, no matter what future it is, whether Halo 7 is a kind of a revamp from ground up, whether it's kind of branching into a completely new realm, there's a lot of variations that could occur. I think I think Halo 7 has to any part of it has to be about just letting the Halo story continue without being tied to the specific elements of you can't have this, you can't have that. Halo, like you consider Halo 1, then Halo 2 had things like boarding vehicles, dual wielding. It, you know, there's there was also then uh you know, like the changes in how you played or what things were available. There were additional grenades, there were additional weapons. Then when you consider Halo 3, you then had pulling the turrets off of mounting points. You you had the equipment for the first time. These things were considered and always improvements. And those improvements, that I think still need to come into Halo. You can't be tied to the past to be able to then allow something to grow into the future. You always have to be willing to go, we can we can do better. We have the technology. Super Lord, I think it's too negative without understanding the fine lines. I think the remake does a lot of things better, better uh, meanwhile missing the point on others. And I think that's a fair point. I I would agree with that. It is too negative in a sense of how they position it against a remake. However, you do kind of have to give them points. They did get some elements about this just dead on. Like it has to be about like the game has to feel more modern, more capable, more with the times. Like if it was only just of if it was just the original Halo CE remade again, you know, then it just it basically kind of sits there and sits in and of itself. It isn't anything really new to be considered. It's just, oh, well, we've got the new version of Halo, and this is how it is now. And ooh, oh, I wish I could have turned the light bridge off and just had that boy fall to not really his death, is it? So also from Super Lord, Suplordo. I am sorry if there is a particular pronunciation for your name that you do wish. Please spell it out for me because I am terrible at words. It's one of those things. Australians, we don't do words, or I'll admit my dyslexia doesn't really let me do words well. But you know, that's just the cross I have to bear. One of the biggest hurdle I find is applying the extra material to the world so you feel the world. Moving the metal stickers you melt feels good, but it doesn't. But it feels like it doesn't move. So I had to practice moving it outside of the world and get a mental picture of that. And then finding that pace of applying the metal while welding. There's a lot of confidence and faith going into welds. You are right, like the balance in understanding how your hands are moving independently while kind of keeping it not really in the back of your mind, but almost much like driving a car, almost automatic. You nailed it this time. Thank you. Suplordo. There we go. Now you have to hold me to account. If you are ever in chat again and I mispronounce your name, like you gotta let me have it. There should be like, oh my god. Sorry guys. Come on, Coda. Come on. What do you want? Sorry. I have no kids. This is my kid. And he demands attention. Sorry, I'll take a moment here. All right. Let's find where is somebody I live with? I think. All right. Sent off a message to a member of my family. Oh my god, and I've got Piper here as well. but she's too short and portly for me to be able to get her to jump up here into camera view. She's a short-legged little collie, little border collie that she is. Okay, so okay, and we've also got OMG totals. Hot take: games pre-20. I'm guessing 214 is 2014. Need faithful remakes with modern controls and quality of life fixes. Games after that need full-blown reimaginings. The young folk won't play games with dated graphics, but more modern games hold up too well. Actually, yeah, I think that's one of those aspects that, especially for how we think about the kind of remaking of games, there are some that still hold up.
Status report once we deal with this outbreak.
Okay, cool. Howling Wolf-a-Woo, 8129. I know there are two different franchises, but it feels like it's currently original trilogy fans versus prequel fans, aka Bungie fans versus Halo Studio remake fans, which sucks, which this community was civil. That is one of those elements I think will never end up in a true balance. Not because I don't think it is possible. It is very much possible. But I think there is a slight unwillingness to some communities because it can be hard to let go of that feeling. Please continue on. I will. But I don't want to ride the elevator. But I want to pet the ducks. Sorry, that's an inside joke from my wife and I. The element, especially for the communities coming together, is that it can be tough when something has that centralized meaning to you. It's in a sense why, like, oh Jesus, that motherfucker had a goddamn rocket launcher with my name on it. Oh my god. Okay, that he had my fucking number. He toasted me good. Oh, sorry, there is a message here from Suplordo. A bit of philosophy from me. I am not a believer in Christ, which I believe that as Europe looks to Christianity due to the values and views on life. Having faith in God or your Father, believing the work of those who came before you, and have both the faith and confidence to improve upon it and create your own interpretation. Yeah, I can see that. It's like, in a sense, I kind of agree. There's everybody has the elements that mean something to them. It can be with faith. It can be with it can be even the simplest of things that how certain things affected you. Like, oh, there you are. Oh shit. Okay, that's 2 on the counter that I forgot. Somebody didn't keep me in check. Man, that fucking rocket launcher's got some damn good spread, like, splash damage on it. Actually, in a sense, I don't wish for this to sound controversial in what I'm saying. I mean it with all due respect to it. There is an aspect. Death counter up. Oh man, I'm getting absolutely stacked decks on deaths just because this goddamn rocket launcher bullshit. I'm just gonna wait for him and start piffing grenades. I think that's my only way forward here. Oh yeah, I think we can make this work. Yeah, there we go. Yes, he's dead. I think. Knowing my luck, another boy's gonna walk up there and pick up the rocket launcher and then just... Oh, yep. Right on cue. Oh, yes, we got him. Fantastic. Okay, so yes, I mean no disrespect, and if anybody in the chat is not really a fan of hearing hearing about the person who wrote Harry Potter, I apologize. I'm not doing it to invoke anything of talking about them in a manner to condone anything that they did. But there is a particular element that when something means that much to you in your growth,
Did you miss me?
as a child, no, I didn't. I've missed you with every shot so far. When something has been such an impactful element upon your life, whether it's the TV show that you watched as a kid that made you go, oh my god, I could be a hero, like Banana Man, or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, or anything like that. These things that can affect your childhood. There may have been book series like the Harry Potter books. It could have been a video game. It could have been any form of media or entertainment out there. Depending on when those things impacted upon your life, they can have such a very broad and almost visceral feeling when they're changed. Now, it's really the aspect of communities need to understand that the change isn't being done to negate the thoughts, feelings, or aspects of what you enjoyed upon it. It is never about reducing. It is about bringing that forward to hopefully make that thing mean something again to a new generation. And that's where I respect the discourse. I understand that some of my friends out there, oh god, another one of these boys. No, bad. What are you doing, Sentinels? You should be taking care of this boy, not me. I've only got limited shells in my shotgun. God damn it. Oh, thank God. Okay. Bricks Shat. From Howling Wolf of Woo. I will say I am guilty of calling sequel trilogy Star Wars fans, not real Star Wars fans. Which honestly, looking back at it, and that was a very poor take on my end, even though I don't like the sequels. And see, that's ultimately, yeah. Like, I think I think if everybody's honest, and you consider the things about what we care about, what we love so much about shows, TVs, books, movies, and everything else, is that when it means so much to you, when it's something that, you know, like you and your friends, like I have a, can't really lift my sleeve at the moment, but there's a game series that means a lot to me, and I found out some time ago that the person I used to play this game with had passed away. I wasn't aware that they'd passed away, and it was actually quite a shock. But it may seem like a really simple weird thing. So forgive the nicotine patch, but this tattoo is my section ID from a game called Phantasy Star Online, and in that game, it was a action RPG an action online RPG game on the Sega Dreamcast, and I met some very close friends and brilliant people through it. The section IDs would be generated based on the name that you played that game on. My name was Scarecrow, and my section ID was that very one that's on my shoulder.
This
That's
will once held
what
a
was
complete
generated.
record of 74
When you
inhabited
put
worlds.
when you put that name into their system, that's the section, that's the ID that they gave you, and it would mean that you would earn like particular things, like loot drops would have a particular weighting. So that thing means a lot to me. And when Phantasy Star Online 2 was announced, I was absolutely enamored, like, considering I played it when I was a teenager and I am 42 fucking years old now. And it was the sequel I'd been waiting so long for. But then when it finally came out, and it was Japan only for quite a long time, I learnt katakana to be able to then breach into the system and play on a very laggy connection. The game when it came out in Japanese only. You can still luckily write in English. Oh, and here we go. I will quickly finish this, and it seems that the man of the hour, where is it? Oh, and he's posted it there. Fantastic. All right, so we do have some not exclusive news, but it is news from Mr. Jez Corden. So I am also going to grab this link however I can. Copy the link, and I'm just going to pop it into the chat in case anybody is interested in it. There we go. So I'll jump into that in a moment. I'll finish this little element of what I'm talking about here. So that that game means a lot to me, and when, as you said, Howling Wolf of Woo, the game came out, and after actually playing it and getting into it, I was kind of like, this isn't Phantasy Star Online. This isn't Phantasy Star. This isn't the game series I played on the Master System. This isn't it. It's this, and it's this, and it's and honestly, looking back at it, I regret a lot of those things, because I was on message boards for people who are fans of the game saying, like, this isn't Phantasy Star, like, there's not this, there's not that, where is this thing, where is that thing, these things matter to it. And all I was doing was just raging and kind of chewing on people who were having fun with the game, without considering that all I was doing was just, I was pissed off that I couldn't continue playing the thing that I grew up playing. Recently hearing about that friend passing away, it kind of made me, in a sense, nostalgic, but also reminded me of what was so great about playing that game. And in being honest about it, the game you cannot go back and play today and have it be a lot of fun. It is like take it from me, Phantasy Star Online for the Sega Dreamcast or even the Windows PC version is not something that you would say is a fucking dead set magnet game. It is simplistic. It is it is a tough play. Might even do it on stream one day just to kind of show it, because I've got versions for it. I've got the Dreamcast version, I've got the GameCube version, I've got the Xbox OG version. Big old nerd that I am. But I regret speaking about it and going, oh no, this isn't this. This isn't what I remember. How dare it be different to what I imagined it to be? And it's in a sense, you kind of grow and you have that. I think change is one of those things that takes times for humans to process. We all process change at different rates. Some people adapt quickly, while others may take longer. Logic applies for movies and games. Yeah, it really does. And to a degree, that's why I'm really enjoying this. Like, I'm absolutely loving this take on Halo. Because, oh my god, this German Shepherd does not know when to quit. It might just be the simple fact that he's like, no, you need to take me outside. Okay, from Suplordo. What pisses me off with workplace settings is the constant performance, people challenging each other just when you can one-up another. There's no skill and you're allowed to lie to get desired work. Yes, absolutely. I've dealt with that a lot through my career, actually. I've had a lot of people through my entire work career. Like on the, like, you kind of, okay, I'm gonna have to like quickly restring 3 trains of thought, because I know that I've missed 2. This is what my wife calls like train of thought derail. And she's absolutely right. I'm terrible at it. Tanya, cute German Shepherd, very pretty dog. That he is. He is the prettiest boy. And that's actually why I have this entire layout the way I do. Is basically what I like to call it's pup cam. Because I think if everybody is being honest in the world, like having your pets on stream with you should just be an automatic standard for everybody. Because why should you be able to stream with no interruptions or anything else when you can just have animal breaks? Like, this game is frustrating the living fuck out of me. I'm a cuddle dog, or I'm gonna grab my cat. So yeah, Tanya, who I taught her for about 2 years. She had basically been the best way to put it, for a lot of sheet metal workers and apprenticeships at that period of time, it was basically referred to as like you take your lumps. Like, you do all of the shitty work, all of the preparation work that would normally be in a sense kind of built out to the people. Oh Jesus, death counter up. So for that work, you would do a lot of surface preparation work and all of the crap to build up your skill, so that you knew all of that surface preparation, so that you could do the work for the other trained welders, so that they could efficiently do their job. Problem being is that she had spent 2 years, she'd been there for a year, and she'd been promised that she would start doing actual fabrication work, like actually doing the welding, not just doing surface prep. Where I was working at that time, it was really a case of you would have a sheet metal worker or an experienced tradesperson teach you, and they would kind of give you that run through of skill and ability. And at that point, I think I'd worked with about 5 or 6 different apprentices. A lot of young guys, in their early 20s, like late teens, early 20s. Some of them were great, but a lot of them were just, get the paycheck, booze it up, and get shit-faced on the weekend. Trying to get tail on weeknights, come in absolutely shit-face hammered, and the tradesmen on the floor would just oh yeah, you know, encourage that sort of shit. I'm not that sort of person. I never have been. The aspect of teaching Tanya was that she had not been shown or given the ability to actually start working on that skill set, because they were deciding that, you know, oh well, she's not going to be capable of it. Let's give her more time before we kind of throw that skill set at her. So I had the opportunity to go, no, you know what, fuck it. Like, you know, come on, you're working with me today. And I started walking her through those steps and spent that 6 months training her. Ultimate story is that that kind of skill and ability where I taught her, there's a specific element of, if you want to teach somebody any skill set, this is my only piece of knowledge I could really impart upon anybody in 25 years, is that the best way to teach is to get the quality, get good, like be able to do the thing that you need to do it well, then learn how to do it faster. So if this thing takes you 5 minutes to do, you should be teaching that person about how to do it in 10 minutes, so that they can hit that quality level where you're like, you cannot differentiate between what I did and what they did. Then once you've gotten them to that point, then you start showing them those little tips and tricks about how you do it compared to how they do it, to be able to improve their time so that they can do it in the same period of time. Building upon skill, if you set somebody a timeline and go, you have to hit this, it creates anxiety. If you go, this is the level of work that we need, and you don't place a time limit on it, you build confidence and you build skill, and then you go, okay, so instead of doing this way, you can shortcut it a little bit by doing this, or you could cut these things in advance. Or that's how I taught Tanya. She is still to this day, she is a certified welder. She does aircraft repairs for Boeing. So she is TIG welding and doing repairs on the aeroplanes that are all around the world. She is paid hundreds of dollars an hour for her welding skill. And she started that skill set with me, but that only comes from being able to sit down and go, here's how it starts. And that's where, you know, any skill starts. Everything always starts from a small little base. That's why I always say, you know, it can be it can be anything. But you know, it doesn't have to be that you are the greatest in the world. It doesn't have to be that you learn something and then do it for the rest of your life. You should always be, you know, try something new. And if it works for you, that is fantastic. If it doesn't, you've just got a new skill set that just sits in your pocket. Maybe one day it'll be useful. You may go, oh, I can do that. From Suplordo, when I did studies, it was a place to prepare you for the workplace right after. There was this dude who came up to me and started talking about this thingy with some service. And I commented on it like, oh, that sucks. He just frowned and gave me an attitude. So I smiled and told him that I hope he had a great day, reported to HR the same day. I've had those moments as well, where you, like somebody is, especially like, I would say in my history, it was a lot of the older guys that I would deal with because, wait. Oh, we do have another light bridge. Fantastic. A lot of these guys would be, because I am in my 40s. I don't have kids, and I was married at 24, 26. I was married at some point, still am. at least to my knowledge, I haven't heard any different. If somebody comes in and walks in, no, actually, we divorced a few weeks ago. Fuck.
The charm of this facility is lost on the less enlightened.
So that's the story for Tanya. She is a phenomenal welder. I will never hold a candle to Tanya and her skill. I'm just glad that to this day,
If this is the
it
end,
started with just the simple point of being able to give somebody the ability to learn. And I think, well, I'm still yet to hear otherwise, but I think it's easy enough to say that my wife, who's a fabricator and welder alongside me, I taught, I've met those people both older and younger. It's annoying to cooperate with those ones on a team. Yes, it is very much that case. I believe I taught my wife in the same way, where it is a skill set that she had never been given the opportunity to learn. Like, how many school systems would you say actively would go forward and go, hey, you as a young woman, we're going to teach you welding? Doesn't happen often, if ever. I doubt it even happens to this day, where everything seems to be built around this idea of going, oh, well, but you could, everybody needs to have the opportunity to potentially learn. The next great sheet metal worker, or the next great engineer could be a young woman, young man. They still just go, men into the trades, women into hospitalities. Fucking hate that. It is one of my biggest annoyances. So, okay, that was the Tanya story. And my wife, in the same way, I taught her in the same way, where it is get good and then get fast. And she does 90% of the welding that my business does in terms of fabrication, because she's fucking capable and she's able to do it. You could have a world-class MIG welder working alongside her, and with what she can do with a laser welder, guy on the MIG would not be able to keep up. Like, no fucking chance in hell. And I know, because I'm a halfway decent MIG welder and TIG welder, and I cannot keep up with a laser welder. Away from that, yeah, the Phantasy Star Online element, hearing that my friend had passed away, it actually brought up a lot of feelings about specifically all of those elements, the things that I'd said about that game, and gone, oh, like, it's that
Local
pang of
sentinels
regret.
are out of compliance and require
going,
my attention.
Jesus,
will
like,
return soon.
I really kind of slagged on this thing more because I was beholden to a feeling for the game that is, it's my history, but that's not, in a sense, fair. To kind of, oh Jesus, there's another one of these boys. Oh Christ. Oh, that's a big sweep. Those boys have one fucking arm. I would like to know your opinion about the Halo fans freaking out, being outraged by a female ODST Williams talking down to Master Chief. Some people are saying it's woke slop. Well, see, that's a thing. If these people had kind of, if they've read the books or played the games, like, Chief had never had any issue with any of that, because he'd always dealt with that that kind of behavior from ODSTs in general, because they generally weren't a fan of him, or the Spartans, because they felt that the ODST... Oh, okay. Seems I cannot jump it. Alright. 2 on the death counter. We're up to unlucky number 13. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't understand people being concerned. A female ODST has the same sort of element to it'd be the same if Buck or any of the other ODSTs had kind of said be the chief. Because, like, okay, it's like it is oh my god. Jesus. The woman ODST talking out to chief makes sense. I think the writing in general for those missions were ass. Okay. Yeah, 'cause I will admit I'm still going through the game. I haven't played those prequel missions yet. I'm very interested to get into them. And yeah, like to a degree, from what I remember when it came to a lot of Chief's interactions with ODSTs in general was they were not fans of Spartans. Like they did not like the Spartans at all. And it makes sense that they would be like, no, fuck that guy. He's, you know, because I think they saw the Spartans as kind of, oh, but we're the real troops. You go further into detail if it wasn't you playing. I appreciate that because I am looking forward to playing them, but at the same time I was like I really want to go back and just play to something I know, and then from there go into the fucking needlers, man. And another one on the death counter. Ooh, we're starting to tap out on time here as well. We got to get this level finished in the next half hour. Yeah, it's like to a degree, like the dismissiveness of having female soldiers, or the same, like, okay, if you believe that, you know, having female characters in any form of media, especially when it comes to military, is woke slop. Okay, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion. But like, can we just call a spade a spade? It's engagement bait, because it is the same sort of stuff was stated about, now this is showing my age, the same sort of stuff was stated about Demi Moore in the movie G.I. Jane. And that is from the 90s. That how dare they do an action movie with a female lead, and, you know, how could Demi Moore be a real badass US Navy officer? And it was like, that was the entire fucking point, was to show the absolute horseshit that was being applied to this idea that only men could do X or Y. It was another death. Howling Wolf Woo, I agree. ODST conflict between the Spartans was shown in Halo media outside of the games. Yeah, I cannot remember. There was well, this will probably bring up a lot of elements about, but in the Fall of Reach book, there was the very specific element of one of the ODST commanders choosing to have ow, you guys, oh my god. I'm not doing well. Another one on the counter. The ODST chiefs sending their guys against John, and him almost hospitalizing one and I think nearly killing another, because they were told to basically try and take him out. But it was specifically that they were being poised to, you know, just basically fuck with the Spartan system. Now, it didn't work in their favor, and these guys ended up with their arm bones on the outside of their arms. But that, from memory, was, you know, it was talked about in the games, and even that it didn't matter the ODSTs or anyone else, they were all very dismissive of the Spartans because they felt that the Spartans were kind of like test tube babies. They weren't real soldiers. And especially considering that for the ODSTs prior to the Spartan program, the ODSTs were meant to be the guys. Also auto mod. I'm going to allow that. There we go. Thank you for calling that out. I still have to kind of set the auto mod and all this sort of stuff. As much as I may seem that I am confident and aged man, I'm still learning about all of this streaming stuff as I go. From Suplordo in the Twitch chat. I remember when I was younger, I would agree with the girl boss mentality being bad. I had tons of bullies and then some of them were female. They're allowed to be however mean they wanted to be without being reprimanded. Nowadays, I learn a cunt is a cunt no matter what gender. Yes, it is. Because there is just the simple fact of everybody believes that there's a particular genderish mentality that can exist, that some people will be dismissive or worse or anything else. No, there are terrible people across everything, and being honest about it all, you run into those people. Cunts are cunts. And oh my god, these boys are fucking with me. If Turtles is here, he'd be able to tell you I was stuck on like 2 hunters for a damn long period of time. They just had my number. And it seems they do again. So we're just gonna bounce you. Let's see what happens here. Alright. Yeah, and I'll be honest, like, yeah, the idea of the kind of gendered mentality that it's woke. No, it's realistic about military personnel in combat in any sort of future. There's just a sheer reality that no matter how it goes, and I'm dead again. It's true, I was there, yes, and I think oh my god, we're at 20 deaths. This is where the stream is gonna end. It's gonna end on this fucking checkpoint at this rate. But you know what? I would rather have the conversation and slowly work my way through these guys than, than have winning success or play it on a less difficulty. Again, I would talk about what made it good or bad if you had played the missions prior. Again, I do appreciate that because it can be like there's also an element that comes through in how people consider interactions or elements about any sort of gendered media take is that a lot of people go, oh, they've written this, they don't know how to write women, or they don't know how to write men in this position of lesser power, or write women in power. The fact is that a lot of the time it can also be a simpler explanation of it can be just bad writing. It can be oh my god. Okay guys, just chill. Let me get my shield back. Just fucking chill. I said chill. Like a lot of the time it's not an agenda. It can just be a misinterpretation or a misunderstanding of how people will interpret individualized behavior. Because an easy way to create antagonism point for, or a misunderstood characterization point, can be to have a hero or a sympathetic character then encounter a sense of pushback that their decisions and their choices are not the right one because this person says so. You can create that artificial little like back and forth where it then pushes against. Oh my god, we finished. By the way, Infamous Haunts. Oh, thank you. We have the index.
Protocol requires that I take possession of the index for transport. Your organic form renders you vulnerable to infection. The index must not fall into the hands of the Flood before we reach the control room and activate the installation. The Flood is spreading. We must hurry.
See, I also like that touch that that in a sense he doesn't go, hey, I'm gonna transport you or just teleport you, and then just it's just like, nah, fuck it. We're going here. Like, if I was chief, it'd be like, the fuck? I feel tingly.
Which means that any organism with sufficient mass and cognitive capability is a potential vector. On that point, all the tests were conclusive. Is something wrong?
No.
No. Nothing.
Splendid. Shall we?
I look at the internet and past how it's hard to be open-minded when everyone else seems to have such a single mind. I agree with you. But the internet does tend to pull people together.
My usefulness to this particular endeavor has come to an end. Protocol does not allow units with my classification to perform a task as important as the reunification of the index with the core. That final step is reserved for you, Reclaimer.
So I realized that Discord is also pushing through. I'm waiting for the sod off line because I love it.
Odd. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Oh, really?
Take that, you bitch.
Cortana.
12 hours. 12 hours I've been stuck in here, watching you cozy up to that thing while it sharpens the knife to slit our throats.
Hold on. He's a friend.
Oh, I didn't realize. He's your pal, is he? Your chum? Do you have any idea what that bastard almost made you do?
Yes. Activate Halo's defenses and destroy the Flood, which is why we brought the index to the control sector.
You mean this?
You mean this?
A construct in the core? That is absolutely unacceptable.
And yet...
What impertinence! I shall purge you at once!
You sure that's a good idea?
How dare you? I'll...
Do what? I have the index. You can just float and sputter.
Enough. The Flood is spreading. If we activate Halo's defenses, we can wipe them out.
You have no idea how this ring works, do you? Why the Forerunners built it. Halo doesn't kill Flood, it kills their food. Humans, Covenant, whatever. You're all equally edible. The only way to stop the Flood is to starve them to death. And that's exactly what Halo is designed to do. Wipe the galaxy clean of all sentient life. You don't believe me? Ask him.
Is it true?
Is it true?
More or less. Technically, this installation's pulse has a maximum effective radius of 25,000 light years. But once the others follow suit, this galaxy will be quite devoid of life. Or at least any life with sufficient biomass to sustain the flood. But you already knew that.
How could you not?
I mean, how couldn't you?
Left out that little detail, did he?
We have followed outbreak containment procedure to the letter. You were with me each step of the way as we managed this crisis.
Chief, I'm picking up movement.
Why would you hesitate to do what you've already done?
We need to go, right now.
Last time you asked me if it were my choice, would I do it? Having had considerable time to ponder your queries, my answer has not changed. There is no choice. We must activate the ring.
Get us out of here!
If you are unwilling to help, I will simply find another. Still, I must have the index. Give your construct to me, or I will be forced to take her from you.
That's not going to happen.
So be it. Save his head. Dispose of the rest.
It feels tough because I really do want to keep playing, but I have to stop here. Unfortunately,
Look out!
Whoop. Hide behind the shield.
We can't let the monitor activate the ring. We have to stop.
Okay, we're gonna have to save and exit there because unfortunately it will need to be for the next stream. The big tough part will be that was 2 levels. That was 2 levels. From Suplordo, I can agree with people on other things, yet when I disagree with multiple perspectives, it's like they glitch and shut down. Yeah, that is the internet. I think the original Cortana captures this moment way better with punctuation in a moment. She's too mild in the tone and not stern enough. I think that's actually one of those points of perspective. Like way back in Halo CE, the brilliance of that moment is that you really hadn't had sassy characters like Cortana in that way. And I think that's kind of like what works perfectly for her. I'm just gonna turn that down a little bit. So yeah, we'll go with that. Oh, actually, we'll switch across to here, and I think it'll keep the Halo music in the background, which is kind of nice. I think we can do that. Yeah, it's one of those elements where it's a little bit different. Although, so I did promise. Okay. So one of the things that I linked in the chat there. This was published by Jez Corden of Windows Central. Oh Jesus, 49 minutes ago. It took me 49 minutes to get through that point. Train of thought derailing. Perfectly done. Okay, so his article, I did link it in the chat. When I get better at these sorts of things, I'll have this in the chats for in general, so that it'll always be in the show notes in a sense. So this is Jez's article. Like, please do go. Such a good stream. It didn't seem that long. How long it? Holy fuck. Okay, that was 2.5 hours. Coda, you need to stop me before I stream for another 2.5 hours, okay? As my wife would say, there is not a thought in that fluffy head of his. So the reason I wanted to grab Jez's article was specifically because on the Xbox 2 podcast, he did talk about something, and his then news aggregate sites and everything pulled it and were like, oh, Microsoft or Xbox is considering pulling PC games from Steam and everything else. And he went, no, there is... it was, in a sense, he said they have considered the idea of how they position themselves on PC. So specifically, and I'm quoting from his article here. So, quote, someone super chatted in during the live show and asked if there was a scenario where Xbox would ever quit Steam. Microsoft had been re-engaging with exclusive content as of late, with Gears of War E-Day being the tip of the spear. It'll be exclusively on Series X and S consoles, removing PlayStation from the equation. It is, however, launching on Steam on PC in addition to Xbox PC. PC gaming seems to be the core of Xbox's future. Xbox Helix is going to be a gaming PC in essence, and component prices are making the Xbox Series X and S a non-starter for many. At least for the duration of the memory crisis, Microsoft likely isn't expecting it to sell a ton of its own hardware, so targeting users where they already are without completely exiting the hardware landscape is likely the play for now. So given that Microsoft literally owns Windows, how are they hoping to corner a bigger piece of the lucrative PC gaming market, even if it doesn't mean undermining Steam directly? Now, in his article, I'm not going to go through everything here. I do say, like, you should go click on the article, read through it. But it's one of the specific elements is that when you consider how, like, in a sense, the bigger play, you look at how everything is kind of branching across video gaming right now. Sony doing what they're doing. Like, they've got the most amount of players. They've got the most amount of casual people. They're all there. But they're at a point where you can't make more money off them because people are playing the forever games. So you need to make more money with every purchase that you can, and the only way to do that is, as they have announced, stopping the physical games. That means digital only. It means they control their entire platform. That's a way to do it. But the specifics for Jez's article, which I did want to kind of point out and go, you should check this out, is that Xbox Game Pass remains core to how Microsoft plans to show up on PC. Game Pass is designed to capture a separate audience from Steam, targeting users who are perhaps more inclined to otherwise stick to free-to-play games or seek savings in as many ways as possible. Now, I won't go hunt the numbers, but especially for the pre-release of Halo, a lot of people pointed out that on the Steam concurrence, it was only hitting at a peak of about 37,000 players. And you consider how many millions of people there are on Steam, and why wouldn't people be playing Halo on Steam? It's also because, like, if you bought it on your Xbox, you've got the PC version, and a lot of people may have both. But the one thing that we don't know for concurrence is about the amount of people playing on the Xbox PC app. And when it comes down to it, if somebody was looking at Halo was the game that they were going to play. We know a lot of people on Steam bought Forza Horizon 6 when it came out. But since then, you've got quite a lot of games that have come out from Microsoft. You've got Oblivion. Actually, I can just pull it up on the app. I would imagine, if my fingers actually worked. Like, just even in a sense, looking at Game Pass on, no, it wants me to start switching into okay, just even recently added in terms of bigger titles. You've got Halo, you've got Hell Is Us, great game, been playing that. Wuthering Waves did come to the Xbox PC app. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 fell into PC Game Pass. Persona 5, Wo Long, Avatar, Star Wars Outlaws, Quarantine Zone, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Bundle. That's the original one, not the remake. A lot of the Ubisoft games went in. And then from there, there's just a whole run of additional titles where if we think about, okay, so we go back a little further. All right, let's have a look. So you've got Forza Horizon, Remnant. There's kind of the continuing basis of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, as in the 2018, 2019, Hades 2, DayZ went back in, Resident Evil 7, if people haven't played that, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. All of these games have continued at a particular cadence, and it's starting to get to a point where I think they're starting to notice that people keep rolling through, and it's catching the attention of people to go, I don't have to not use Steam, but I can just pop over here. Oh shit, it's over. Yes, Bobby Kai. Oh shit, it is over. I am finishing in about 5 minutes. Howling Wolf for Woo. I'm praying that this Halo remake did good enough to do Halo 2 and 3. I so badly want the other Halo games remade, but I don't know how well the sales have been. In a sense, one of the aspects isn't really about for... Like, there can be a bit of a thing that, oh, if a remake does well enough, then they'll remake other games in the series. One aspect, I think... I don't know. I'm not an insider. But one aspect, especially about how games are produced, is that the elements of remakes and revisiting titles is best done as a concurrent element. So if Halo 7's being worked on in this manner, the best way to be able to kind of keep a continuing balance of content rolling through is to have those remakes being done by external groups, which I believe was how Halo Campaign Evolved was done, was that Halo Studios set the tone, the element, the direction, and that an external studio did the actual production work. They were the people who spent the time. They built inside of Unreal Engine once it was kind of prepared by Halo Studios to go, this is how we want to work it, this is how it will play and do these things, and letting another studio build up that skill. It also then means that that studio then builds a potential like close co-dev partnership with Halo Studios, that if they need additional talent, you've got a very good base of people to be able to work with. I think that Halo 2 and 3 remake could very well be those projects, very much similar in how Bethesda announced a week or so ago that Elder Scrolls 6 is still being worked on. Obsidian is starting to work on a Fallout title, and that the Fallout remakes of Fallout 3 and New Vegas were in production, or that they were working through, and that Fallout 5 is going to be worked on. Those things, being able to bring the past to... Can't wait for our Lasso completion. Oh, Bubby. Trust me, I'm going to be hitting you up this week and letting you know. I just need to get through the last 2 levels of this. I did find out about the save files. It will kill the save files for your current playthrough. So then if you've got any save files which are halfway through a level, you then have to start from that level at the start. So depending on what's happening, I may have a podcast that I'm doing later this week. So I don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow as I normally would. But if not, then I'll be streaming again on Wednesday. So not this time tomorrow, it'll be the day after. And I think I'm just going to try and basically push. I'm going to get through the last 2 levels. Oh, sorry, last 3 levels, isn't it? Assault on the control room, keys, the more. Yeah, shit. Got 3 more. Okay. I might have to not get derailed in thought and just kind of lock in. We'll see how well that goes. And then yeah, we definitely need to do the lasso. Actually, is it 2 or 4 player co-op for Campaign Evolved? I think it's 4. Yeah, it says fire team 1 of 4. Okay, Bubby. we can run through it, and then we might just put invites open if we need extra bodies to throw at a problem. 3 body problem, 4 body problem. We'll see how we go. Okay, so I should really call it there because I've been blabbering on, but I think Howling Wolfawoo, I think there is a pretty high likelihood for Halo 2 and 3 remake, because considering the work that they've done here, it is really top-notch work. And especially for Halo 2, Halo 2 I think could use this sort of touch, because you go back and you play even the Halo 2 remake that they did for for Halo Master Chief Collection. It still plays too much like Halo 2, that it still has that floatiness in some of the physics and elements and everything. And also, I think, as Bubby Kai had pointed out last week in a stream, it would be great to see 4-player co-op through Halo 2, because Halo 1 now has 4, Halo 2 just needs 4, and then you've got 3, 4, 5, and Infinite. Infinite has 2. No, I think Infinite can have up to 4. I'm not certain. And then obviously Reach and ODST, you can have 4. Okay, I can actually feel my voice is starting to crack and fade away, so I'm gonna have to call it there. But I want to say thank you to everybody who stopped by. Seeing the Scarabs in Halo 2 remake, I can't wait. Oh my god. Yeah. I would actually be really interested. Thanks for the background noise. Great stream. Good night. Thank you. Like, pleasure chatting with you, Suplordo and Howling Wolfawoo. I have to say, one of the most unique names I've seen, Howling Wolfawoo. Considering I have the Howling Wolf, who occasionally woos right down here, and considering he's been jumping at me throughout most of the night, definitely got to take him out and go play with him. And you can't fight the dogs; they'll do what they do. And to the there's apparently been like quite a few people through on YouTube who are sitting there and chilling. If I'm the background noise for what you've been doing, hopefully I haven't been too annoying, but thank you. Thank you for just chilling and hanging out. I really appreciate it. And we'll continue pushing our way through Halo Campaign Evolved. As mentioned, Bubby Kai and I will be trying for a lasso completion. I think he is going to be carrying me. I am going to be the 100 kilos of weight on his shoulders. Because as you've seen, throw 2 hunches at me and I'm fucked. And then from there, I'll actually be pushing. Lol, I can't be a carry. Oh, come on. We'll get someone in. I might call in a ringer for us, or we'll just open it up to the chat, and anybody who's available can just jump in. And then yeah, once we've kind of gone through Halo, it'll definitely be looking at it, because you're the one in the backpack. Jesus, this is nearly finished a legendary, so ready. Oof. I will admit, this is going to be a tough one. Okay, and then after we've done through Halo, we're just going to open it up, and I might play some play some classics, but I'm also open to suggestion because there are some damn good games out there that I have never played. So we'll be jumping into that. So again, thank you everybody. I appreciate you swinging by, and hopefully you're having a great night, great morning, great day, whatever it may be, and hopefully see you next time.